Welcome, folks, to the Turing Test, a very good puzzle game that I played recently. In fact, I played enough that I got all the achievements, and now I would like to share it with you. It's not terribly long. We're going to be here for... I beat in my first sitting, in my first playthrough, in less than 5 hours, and I anticipate this will be even less. Because that was last week, so I should remember all the puzzles. This is very much a Portal-like. I'm also realizing that I don't see my chat overlay, my restream chat overlay. That's not a big problem. I'm just going to have to look to my right to see everybody. It's not a big problem. I like this game because it has it actually has quality dialogue, which you don't see in a whole lot of games of this genre. Well, I say that, and then I think about Talos Principle and, of course, Portal, and Portal 2. This one does not have a comedy angle. This one is a very, very serious experience.
Morning, Ava. Your wake-up has been sanctioned by the ISA. We lost contact with the ground crew 450 hours ago. We have tried to establish further communications, but we are not getting any responses.
Also, I likely need to turn up the volume. I'll do that in just a moment.
We need you to investigate.
Okay, doesn't it make sense to do visual checks first?
We have already looked at the data. The ISA has made the executive decision that you report to the surface post-haste. You are our emergency response.
Let's do that real quick. Now it says it's at 100, but I have the music turned down. It can be rather high. I'm not sure why I don't have a mouse pointer here. Oh, I guess I just don't get one. Let's just go ahead and turn up both of these.
What exactly is the emergency?
The ground crew found an organism the ISA believed to be dangerous. We need to re-establish communication.
Okay. An organism that's dangerous. We just got done playing Prey, so this is fairly reminiscent, right? We have just woken up out of a cryopod. We have various other people that are apparently not awake yet. I don't know what time it is. I just know that I'm awake and there's apparently a bad organism, bad juju, down on some kind of surface. There's an office. Spent a lot of time walking around here. There's not anything to do. You can pick up various objects.
It's on the side.
Speaking of which, I can pick up this, the energy manipulation tool. There's nothing to actually read. I can't open it. So where is that sucker? There it is. Right in its case.
Okay. We are going to take a lander to Europa. Make your way to the docking station.
So there you go. We're heading to Europa's surface. Of course, in 2018 rather, we have not been to the surface of Europa. And I don't think we even have landed any probes on there either. Which is unfortunate. Europa, of course, is, well, one of the better sources of non-human life in the solar system. Along with another one of... I was going to say, is that also Jupiter's moon? Callista is the other one. Callisto, rather. I think that's actually Saturn's moon. Either way,
What's the ship status?
Europa is definitely
the
Jupiter's.
necessary checks. The Europa lander is ready to launch.
Callisto is also Jupiter. Well, there you go. I think it is one of the 4 Jovian moons, now that I think of it. The 4 being Europa, Io, Ganymede, and I suppose Callisto.
Bay 3.
Now, if you looked in the other bays, you'd notice that all these other pods are actually not here. So I can only guess that our friends are already awake.
Retro?
Go.
Fido?
Also, there's no Z on that keyboard.
Go.
Control?
Go.
Telcom?
Go.
Then we are go for launch initiating.
Zeppelin.
I know, right? This reminds me a lot of Quake 4 being in this thing. Because it's not that much different from those flying death coffins.
I'm running the program.
There's Jupiter,
83 delta pitch,
glowing
80 degrees absolute.
warmly off in the distance. And that is not supposed to transpire. I'm not... Sorry for the epilepsy-inducing bouncing.
We are slightly
That
short.
didn't happen in my original playthrough.
We are going to have to burn late.
We'll just have to rack it up to turbulence.
Full retrograde.
Wouldn't that be some shit? That's the organism they found, Grimmith. A troublesome organism on the surface. Turns out it's the straw. Macron! I was just thinking about the Macron the other day in Quake 4. I was like, they should probably make another edition of Quake sometime this century. I know Rage is getting a second game. Alright, can we get out of this juddery thing? I'd like to not sicken myself and the viewers. I'll tell you when you can look back at the screen.
Welcome to Europa.
Alright, it's calmed down fairly well now. Although my frame rate still is pretty trash. Probably part of streaming, honestly. I'm not used to having that anymore. Maybe I'll turn down... Nah, looks great. I was gonna say, turn down my graphics now. As soon as we get off the Judder mobile, everything's good. Whatever Roombas we have up here in space are working overtime, as you can tell. I remember thinking about this specifically as I was descending the ramp the first time I played this game. Well, goddamn, they waxed that to a perfect sheen. And just like in Prey, we have yet another loading sequence. Our favorite. We were loading screen all this time as well in this game. How did we know? That's unfortunate, Staven. If it keeps having this issue... I mean, what's even the point of me using Mixer? All my users... Seems like sometimes Mixer just decides to eat shit and not allow my users to use its primary reason to use it over Twitch. Anyway, that's neither here nor
The
there.
base has changed.
What do you mean?
The base was originally constructed as modules to withstand the seismic activity in and around Thera Macula. It appears the ground team have manipulated these modules. The base was built initially by machines. I served as the mind of these operations. I arrived first on Europa in 2240. It costs a lot to send humans into space with the necessary life support, especially such a vast distance from Earth. So, robotics built this place.
I wonder why the ground team has changed these rooms.
I have a hypothesis. These rooms are Turing tests.
Name drop?
Turing tests are tests designed to tell humans and machines apart.
Now, why would they want to do
Problems
that?
only solvable by a human. A combination of logical and lateral thinking.
So, you can't complete these tests, Tom?
No. That is why I am glad you are here to help. We need to work together. They really have completely repurposed these rooms. I am quite impressed.
So, what were they used for before?
Most of them were used for storage. But they have converted them beyond recognition. Perhaps they ran out of things to do out here. The devil makes work for idle hands.
Of course. We're in tutorial land if
Do
it
you
wasn't
know the ground
apparent.
team's location?
The crew are deeper inside the base, it seems.
They must be trying to survive. Can you find their precise location?
I'm afraid not. I am working to regain control. Though I once had complete control of this base, a lot has changed in the past 500 hours.
So if it wasn't apparent, so far we have one main mechanic, which is like energy transfer. We have these energy boxes, which are full of limitless energy. And we also have these little energy sort of like usable thingies. Little energy charges. We'll call them sparks, since we're here on Mixer. And I can go ahead and pull those from anywhere as long as they're within my line of sight. There we go. And this is the core mechanic of the game. We can hold up to 3 of these sparks inside the gun.
So, if this base is managed by you, why can't you find the crew?
The base's communication array is malfunctioning.
Okay, I didn't want to cut off his dialogue. This game actually is pretty good at pacing it out.
Perhaps we can't solve this yet.
And it's true, we don't really have enough information unless you're going to brute force it, which I'm actually going to show you the winning combination right here. I think. There we go. So there you go. There's something in here. Let's take a look. It's not super spoily. We have a small grave for a Minos Brooke. Apparently died December 24th, 2246. It's a very small grave. Whenever we get to the end of Stage 5, effectively, I'll show you where they get the information for that. It's not a readily apparent solution. I know, you're a merchant! We also have a variety of switches like this that allow us to throw around things. Do we have another one of those? Hey! Oh, come here, you. And now it's gonna introduce us to a new kind of spark. As you can see, this one's green, and the ones we encountered before were, of course, blue. It's because this one switches on and off.
This doesn't add up.
What does not add up?
If there was an accident, surely they'd come to find me, not try to lock me out.
Trying to press F on things.
My instance is still resolving conflicts. I expect they have their reasons.
There we go, perfect. As you can see, some of these switches require 2 power sources. And there's also switches that can switch between power sources. We're almost done with the first stage. You can see our progress there.
Has just been updated.
Sorry?
I have 2 instances of my mind, 2 separate versions. A slave mind running on the satellite, and a master running here on the surface.
Well, that sounds good.
When the communication was cut between the surface base and the satellite, the 2 instances of my mind were separated. So, during all this time, all of my knowledge divided into 2 separate branches. I continue to learn on the satellite, and I continue to learn on the surface. I am trying to merge the knowledge to create a timeline of what's happened here. But there are incongruities between these memories. Conflicts.
So yeah, like he says, there's 2 versions in them. One that was on Europa and one that was in the ship. They are now one. So that's good. I know, that always ends well. Especially in space. As you can see, nothing terrible so far. This is actually a rather easy portal-like, at least in my opinion. I've played a few.
This is the command center. You can check on the crew status from here.
Says E there, but I can't press on it. Just like when I first played through this game. But we have some sound bites. This is the main way the game is going to deliver the story to us, outside of Tom's ramblings.
Tom, start recording.
I am always recording, Daniel.
The day is January the 6th. My watch says it's 2:30 on Earth. Here we are, members of the human race, standing on Jupiter's moon, Europa. I am Captain Daniel Mclean. I'm joined here by the rest of my team. It is our intention to make this moon our home and investigate life on this planet. Man's curiosity and appetite for discovery will continue to change our world for the better.
Inspiring. And might I add my congratulations to you all.
Here it is. Beautiful, isn't it? What makes this one more remarkable than the others?
The way it attaches itself to other organisms. Its behavior is very abnormal. It seems to form a symbiotic relationship with most life forms.
How do you mean?
Do you want me to dumb it down?
I know what it means. What does it do?
It attaches itself to almost anything living, but it's not parasitic. It's quite alien. We're trying to figure out what effects it has on life forms.
Let me turn it up a bit, because these are not considered voice, so they don't have subtitles. Although voice is low too. Lethal just sort of cocks his eyebrow. Whatever. We've turned it up. That's what matters. No. Oh. You didn't do it. I wanted you to commit it. Why won't you commit? Do I need to use the controller or something? What's wrong with you? The controller's working, kind of. Okay, so the controller can go back, but I can't hit escape. Whatever. Silly game. Anyway.
Mikhail,
Much louder.
you seem distant.
Do I?
Yes. What's wrong? What's wrong, Mikhail? Mikhail, what's wrong? Are you listening, Mikhail? Are you able to hear?
So, Dr. Mikhail is apparently becoming a bit distant.
I was talking to the ISA. They don't know what to do with this. The magnitude of the discovery.
We should send samples back to Earth. I think we need to get this to a better lab. Me and Sochi are having trouble making enough clones. We're going to run out of the necessary resources to continue studying Organism 119.
They're calling for a grounding of all Europa transport until they get your report.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's rather drastic.
That's right there, Elder. Are you listening, Mikhail? Or are you creating more of your Kalashnikovs? Can't it be both? He's all no. So yes, we can pick up various things. I'm not sure what this is. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. What is that? Sticky notes. Doesn't matter. These guys kind of matter. These are our crew. We have Dr. Soichi Yui, who's apparently from Japan. She is our exobiologist, because we have those in this current year. Here's Mikhail. He's kind of important. Not Kalashnikov, but Tokarev, MD. He is our medical doctor. From Russia, of course. How could you not be with that name? His current objective is terminated, and his outstanding tasks are keep calm. That's good. And this next woman, Dr. Sarah Brooke, is just as realistic as the other ones here. I don't want to hear any sass. She looks very real. She is, of course, joint British and Syrian, and another exobiologist. Her objective is to classify the organism and classify all life recovered. And then we have another very real-looking person. I don't want to hear your bullshit. It's Ava Turing, us. We are apparently American, but we are born in Germany. We are an engineer. Why we're down here on the surface, helping with apparently some kind of troublesome life form is beyond me, but I'm sure our ever-benevolent Tom knows what he's doing. Then we have Chris Mclean, who is another engineer. He is currently terminated, and his outstanding tasks are terminated. So he has an easy life at the moment. And let's see. We also have our captain, Captain Daniel Mclean, who is the brother of Chris. Both Canadian. Later we'll see how Canadian he is. Super Canadian. He is classified and classified because he's a captain. We'll pick up that, and we'll move on. Oh yeah, I didn't even know we could sprint in this game. Holy shit. Alright, we're going for a speed run now.